Hey guys, Frozen Stag here, and welcome to a mod preview for Third Age 4.0. Now, Third Age 4.0 is an unofficial continuation of Third Age 3.2. It's been in development for a number of years now, 10 years as it says on the ModDB page, which is surprising really. I didn't think it'd be that long, but there you go. So yeah, there's quite a few changes, a lot of settlements have custom moles, there's a lot more settlements in the game, and there's a new faction as well. Now, one of the things I can immediately suggest is up here there could be like Third Age 4.0, rather than just a map of Middle-earth, even though the map of Middle-earth is of course excellent. All it says to distinguish it to Third Age 4.0 is essentially just this. That little corner there that says 4.0, but I feel like there could be a bit more. But anyway, let's begin. Now, there is no Fellowship campaign. If there is, I'm sure that maybe they're working on one, but as far as I know, I'm pretty sure there isn't one. And if you were to click on that, it would just crash. But anyway, let's go through the factions. So you have the Kingdom of Gondor, of course. They've got Swan Knights, which is very nice. Rohan, Royal Guard. Currently under control of King Thengel. Dale, this time you have King Bard the Bowman, an actual general, which is very nice. I'd like to see that. The Free Peoples of Eriador, who can also form the reunited Kingdom of Arnor at some point. Dwarfs. The Eisenguard. A funny little thing to note is I'm actually currently doing a campaign as the Dwarfs at this moment in time, which has been very much well received, and it's been a lot of fun. So I have had a bit more information on the mod than just looking at it now. We have a new faction, the Oricani Dwarfs, which is very nice. I like the look of them straight away. The High Elves as well, with the Cinder Arches, which is very good. The Sylvan Elves under King Thranduil, with Sylvan Heavy Archers. And Mordor under the Witch King of Angmar with the Oricani. Eisenguard, Saruman who have Uruk-hai pikes. And the Orcs of the Misty Mountains who have the Great Goblin King with the Cave Trolls, of course. The Orcs of Gunda under Chieftain Gordoth with Snow Trolls, of course, for their special unit. Harad, of course, have Mumakil under the leadership of Chieftain Kuyaima. And Run, Chieftain Borfan leading them, along with Cataphracts, which coincidentally look a bit like from the Spartan movie. Or the 300 movie, not really Spartan movie, is it? But anyway, let's go through the units first, and after the units we will cover the campaign. Now, I do apologise if I sound in a bit of a rush today. Unfortunately, I left us a bit late to upload, so I do apologise for that. But anyway, you have quite a few custom settlement mods. You've got the Evil Men Docks, Gondor Docks, Men Docks, Elven Docks, Fords of Eisen, so you have quite a few different areas as well, which is kind of cool. Oliphant Graveyard, Trollshaw's Hideout, which you may recognise from the Hobbit film. Mount Doom, Nazgul Tomb. So there's a lot of custom settlement models for, or custom battle models, I should say, sorry. So that's very interesting. Some cool little custom battles can be made out of this. Alright, starting off with Gondor. So as you can see, quite a few nice units. You've got the Axemen of Lossarnach, you have the Dismounted Swan Knights, which require Dol Amroth. And of course you've got the Fountain Guard, very nice units, and you've got Guards of Osgiliath, which will require Osgiliath to be rebuilt. You also have some nice Aphelion Rangers as well. You've got General's Bodyguard, and you've got the Swan Knights, which require Dol Amroth. Moving on, of course you've got Artillery as well. Moved on to Rohan. Got some Riddermark Axemen, got some Ailing Swordsmen, Dismounted Air Lancers, Royal Guard, they look quite nice. Helmingers, which is your best archer unit, I believe, and obviously you have quite a few cavalry, Rohan bodyguards, loads of different cavalry units there, very nice, and of course you've got artillery as well. Dale as well. Now I notice the unit cards look a little dodgy for these three, just for a couple of them, but it's not too bad. But you got the Rovanian guard routes, Dale's swordsman, dismounted earls require Dale or Esgaroth, Dale's swordsmasters. Of course, got a Fala Rangers, very nice units there, and Bardi Marksmen as well. Some nice units there. You also have some mercenaries. You can get Rovanian units for mercenaries as well, which is cool. Moving over to the Free Peoples of Eriador. Of course, you got some hobbits. Greenway Guards, which requires the Greenway region. You've got quite a few merchants. You've got Battle Ready Dunedain, like them straight away. Archer Militia, very nice. And you got some Brandenbrass Archers. Dunedain Rangers, of course, very nice. And quite a few nice little cavalry units as well. And the Grey Company as well. And you can also recruit bandits as mercenaries as well. The dwarfs. So you have dwarven miners. They got some halberdsmen, vault wardens, knight axemen with arrowball, look very fearsome. And the dragon slayers of Ered Mithrin. The defense is 20, very powerful units. I've had the privilege of using them myself in my dwarven campaign, which I will probably reference quite a bit. Dwarven noblemen, guards of Khazad-dûm, iron crossbowmen, some wargoat riders, and you get some chariots as well as artillery. And then you move on to the Oricani Dwarfs. You've got some normal Oricani warriors, some axemen, Oricani berserkers, which is cool. Got some guard there, dwarven nobles, Iron Fist Guardians, Black Orc Guards, and some crossbowmen and goat riders as well, so very nice there. Moving over to the High Elves. So as you can see, they have quite some good units. The Eldemri Spearmen, some Swordsmen, Mithlon Nobles, which is good. Smiths of Region look awesome as well. I like the look of these Cinder Arches as well, nice little model to them. And you got some Cav as well, along with some artillery of course. Then you got the Sylvan Elves. So you got some Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen and Spearmen. Sylvan Bodyguard and Wooden Warriors look very fancy. And you got some archers as well. Your best archer being the Sylvan Heavy Archers. And you got some Missile Cav as well. Artillery, and you can also recruit Ents and Bjornings as well, which look very awesome. I do very much like the look of them. Alright, move on to the next batch of units. So you got Mordor, you got the Morannon Guard of course. Halberds look awesome, love the Orcs as well. Of course, you've got Mountain Trolls. Nazgul is a unit as well. They're very powerful, as you can see. Oricani, very nice. Uruk Archers, not bad. Black Numenorians as well. The Great Beasts as well. I remember them being a pain in the ass to deal with. Not in my campaign, but in other series with Great Beasts around. Troll Catapults and Great Spires as well, which look very powerful there. Eisenguard, got some Uruk Reavers. Some Dunlendon Veterans, very nice. Berserkers, of course. Guards of the Orthanc. And then you got some archers there, crossbowmen, warg riders, and their own version of a ballista as well. The Orcs of the Misty Mountains. Straight away I can notice this one does not have a unit card, because it's displaying the Roman peasant for a unit card, so that's something that needs to be worked on straight away there. Heavy Goblin Infantry, Orc Bodyguards. You got Cave Trolls as well, which is cool. Heavy Goblin Archers. Warg riders, more artillery there. Moving over to the Orcs of Gunda. I just have quite a few nice looking units. Orc Marauders there straight away. The Gundabad Bodyguards, like them immediately. Stone Trolls, which is cool. Cave Trolls. Snow Trolls as well, they're quite powerful. Goblin Trackers. Ryan Angmar Armoured Wargs, which look awesome. And of course you've got some mercenaries, Rudar Axemen, Hillman, and Rudar Scouts. Moving on to Harad. You got Hishari, which I like the look of immediately. Trollmen of Harad. You got some Sovereign units. You got some Dismounted Serpent Guard, I like them. Corsair Archers, who had Tribemen, so they're like the elephant killing units, even though you wouldn't be killing the elephants. But they're javelin units. Sovereign Archers, nice little body Serpent Guard there for the cavalry, that's awesome. And of course you've got the Mummer Kill, very powerful. You got Varric Lancers, which you can recruit as mercenaries, which is nice. And then Run. So you got the Loke Gamp Rim, the Loke Flag Rim, which I love the gold in them, that's awesome. Dismounted Varrics, got some Loknar Rim, which is your Archer unit, or Archer Gold unit, I guess. Loki in this Rim. And then you got the Runic War Chariots as well, very nice. And you can also recruit a Varric Lancers for mercenaries as well. Moving on to the King of Arnor, a little bit similar to Eriador. However, got some new units like the Arnor Men at Arms, Arnor Pikemen, and the Dismounted Duneline Knights, which require Enumenas. And then you got the Arnoran Heavy Archers, and you got some cavalry as well. Knights of Enumenas, very nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the unit. So let's go on to the campaign. Okay, let's begin. Now you will notice that there are a few custom generals. Now these custom generals will not be available in your version. However, if you do want to contact me over Discord, put the link in the description. Just click on that and I'll take you to my Discord server and just contact me through there. And I'll send out the files to you through there. But anyway, let's begin. So we'll start on the northwest corner of the map. So you've got Kibble Dun, which is in Thorin's Halls as well. Obviously, we'll notice it's using the original Third Age 3.2 map, of course. And you got Mythland and the Elven High Elf areas, or the Grey Havens around this area. And then moving up, quite as you can see immediately, there are a lot of rebel summons. So Athor, Bas, Elrond, quite a few, which obviously makes conquering the map a little difficult. Now you got Khan Dum over here, or Khan Doom, I should say. Sorry, my apologies. I have been criticised a lot for saying Khan Dum. It's actually Khan Doom. It does look like Khan Dum, but if you look at that symbol there, it's actually meant to be O. That's the way Tolkien's wrote it. Graham as well, and Latash. Gundabad has its model that you will recognise from the Hobbit movie, so that's very nice there. And moving down, you got Fornos Arain, and Numanas as well, which looks nice, and you got the Men Ruins as well. So I will point out to you in them a little later on. Holberton as well, Michel Delvin, Longbottom, and then of course you got Bree and Gandalf outside as well. Of course, Weathertop, it will now there's another thing about it's not here yet, but basically what happens is that on the second turn, you get like armies that spawn, like yellow looking units that spawn here, and if you defeat the army with, say, this army outside here, you get like money from it as well, so that's quite useful. Of course, the best way to show that is within the game, but if you check out my Dwarven campaign, which I will leave a link to in the description if you want to see a more hands-on of some of the new features, and just check that out right now. Moving down in quite a few, some Barrow Downs is actually its own little settlement, which is nice. Moving over to Eisenguard, they control a lot of Dunland. North Farbad and South Farbad have nice little ruin models. Then you got Austin Edel as well. It's a nice little elven ruin outside. Of course, you got Imladris up here as well. And you got the Orcs, like the Orc Outpost, Goblin Town as well, which is a nice little big settlement mole there. This mod does very much it's trying to replicate much of the Hobbit movie and stuff as best they can, and which is why you may notice a few moles are different than they are, say, in Divide and Conquer. Of course, you've got Mora, West Mora and East Mora. And obviously Isengard as well, with their own little settlement mole. That's awesome, of course. And then Rohan, which control a bit of this bit. And then you got Edoras as well, and Dunharrow in here. And of course, over here you got Gondor, Pin of Gellan, Dol Amroth as well, which looks quite small with all this area around here. And obviously going up through Ithilien, you got East and West of Skilith, both controlled by Mordor and Gondor. So there's a constant struggle between the two of them. And of course you've got Gondor here as well, with Minas Tirith looking fantastic as always. Moving up a bit to Caras Galadhon and Seren Amroth, which look very nice. Is it Karen Amroth or was it Seren Amroth? Pretty sure it's not too sure on that. Moving on. Frauensburg as well. Of course you've got Dane's Halls as well, which has a fantastic settlement mold that I've seen in my Dwarven campaign. It's amazing. I think it's very similar to Dak. However, it's difficult to compare the two because a lot of models are similar and all that. So Thranduil's Halls as well, and moving down to Dol Guldur, of course, but it looks quite nice. Moving up here, of course, you've got Esgaroth and Dale up there. So it looks very nice. Of course, Riverrun as well, Game of Thrones reference. Of course, you've got Asa Nulimbar, which is like the Iron Hills, of course. And you got Erebor, of course. And over here you have the Oricani Dwarfs, which are a bit of a clan. I do quite like the Oricani Dwarfs, so maybe I'll have a look into playing them at some point. We shall see. So yeah, Home of the Stipids and all that. I kind of wish instead of calling it, I'll go through that in my epilogue at the end, but yeah, I'll go through that. And of course you've got Run down here, Mistrand as well, which is the capital, Roman, Amanaricus, Uldunavon as well. And so yeah, obviously a bit of a run controls a bit down here as well. Where Can's more down here, isn't it, really? Anyway, over to Mordor. Obviously got Barad-dûr, you got here as well, Mount Doom, which just has a little description of where tells you where the Wrong Ring was forged and all that. So that's kind of cool. Of course, you've got the Black Gate, you've got Durfang as well, and of course you've got Minas Morgul and Cirith Ungol. A little bit difficult to see, I'm afraid. Now moving over down to Hurad. quite big settlements. Horondor, which shouldn't really be called that. It should be called the name of the city in Horondor. Horondor is just a region. Again, I'll go for that and talk about that. So Mimikil Graveyards now, I think it's kind of cool. Where was the capital? I've completely forgotten. There it is. And Hireman, that's the capital of Harad as well. So they're obviously quite spread out, quite a big faction in the south. And obviously moving over to Umbar as well, which looks awesome. I like the look of that straight away. And a settlement, little settlement down here as well, which is cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the campaign. I will now take a moment to go through my final thoughts, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Okay, now this is what I was saying about the treasure army. So essentially the faction is just called bandits. I don't think there's even a name for it, actually. Like you can see, it's a bit missing. So they'll probably fill that in with something, because as you can see, it has no name. So yeah, you want to fill that in. But I mean, that's basically that army would stand outside a treasure area, and if you attack that army and defeat that force, you'll get some money. It's usually the money is a bit randomized, so it's difficult to say. I also noticed that there is a event that the auto expansion. I believe I don't think the Oricani Dwarfs took anything in auto expansion. What happened? Who took what? Yeah, Gondor took this side of it. Rohan took some of it as well. Eisenguard took this part. Lothlorien took Bjorn's Woods. And Emmen Newfoundland took that as well. Run's expanding in the west a bit more. And expanding the south as well. And Harad's moved up and taken Barad Han. Mordor, I think, didn't have Daggerlad, but I've got it now, I believe. And Isengard's gone and taken Fangorn as well. So yeah. Anyway, my final thoughts on this is that I think the mod is excellent. I do think a lot of work has gone to it, and I think the treasure things are quite cool, like defeating an army to get some money. That's kind of cool. I think the custom battle models as well are very nice. In the time that I played with the dwarves, I've experienced quite a few models. The Dane's Halls, that's quite a fun battle to have. Not Isengard, sorry. Gundabad. Now, Gundabad actually doesn't have a gate. When I was fighting that, it had no gate, so I practically just walked in. But the game doesn't make you walk in, you have to actually build siege equipment to attack. But there's actually no gate inside the city, which is a little odd, I thought. But maybe that's something they could work on, definitely. I think there's quite a few settlements. I think a lot of settlements are quite good. It's nice that they've expanded and shoved quite a few settlements in. One thing I don't entirely agree on is the fact that this is called Home on the Stoneputs. Shouldn't it be given a name? Or rather, it should just be called the Iron Fist Hall or Iron Fist Castle, something like that, instead of just home of the Stiffbeards. It just seems a bit odd in my opinion. Something I would suggest is perhaps, well, the problem I think with the Oricani Dwarfs is that they're mountains, and the Oricani Mountains. Now, if you look at a map of Middle-earth, and now just behind me is a map of Middle-earth, and I cannot for the life of me spot the Oricani Mountains anywhere nearby. So the problem is that the Oricani Dwarfs don't exactly exist if they should be that far. They should be much further away. However, it would be nice if the Oricani Dwarfs perhaps have one territory and maybe made up like a story that the Oricani Dwarfs are migrated west. And with the Oricani Dwarfs, you could have a choice to either oppose your dwarven friends over here, or go evil. Or no, oppose your dwarven friends and go evil, or stick good and go kill Run. That's what I think would be better, rather than just the Oricani Dwarfs being placed here. I get that it's a nice little addition, but it doesn't entirely make sense why they're here, because they shouldn't really be here. The Oricani Mountains just wasn't here. It just wasn't at all. Which is one thing I'm not too much of a fan of the Oricani Dwarfs. I still think it's a nice additional, but they could have done much better if they just had an event where the Oricani Dwarfs just turned up, or had at least one settlement somewhere, and not have the mountains just be moved west, which is my real issue there. No, I think East Nirn and Cameron, that should be part of Mordor. In the 100 and something turns I've played is it 100 and something? I can't remember, I'm afraid. I should remember. But there you go. But at the time I played with the Dwarven campaign, Mordor just has never actually gone and taken the Eastern encampment, which is a little silly of Mordor, really. And then you can get because really Mordor owns all this, and yeah. But yeah, Canned. Yeah, that shouldn't be called Canned. It should be called the place. I mean, you can just look at DAC. They have the name sorted out. Calling something canned when calling the settlement the name of a region doesn't really sit well with me. It doesn't entirely make any sense. It should be called the name of the capital of the city inside that region, not like like over here, Horrendor. That's a region, not a settlement. Maybe I'm nitpicking a bit, but I'm gonna give you an honest honest thing of what I decide. And Dorwinian, that's a region. That should be, I can't remember the name of the place, Coruscant, I think it is, or I might be wrong there, but it should be called that, not the name. Calling settlement's name of the region doesn't sit well with me. I don't like it, and I think it's something they definitely should change. Same with the Forward Wave Settlement. Why would you call a settlement Forward Wave Settlement? Just call it, I don't know, call it a village up north. You have to call it, and then, you know, it doesn't have to be called Forward Wave Settlement. That's a lot of, that feels very immersive, immersion breaking, I guess, yeah. So that's something I don't like, really. There, I'm afraid. Well, yeah. That's pretty much it. Really, there's not much I can say. It's kind of cool, actually. It has the Troll Shores hideout. So it has the trolls in the Hobbit film that are petrified, which I like very much. And yeah, maybe not call this fishing village. Call it just a village, not a fishing village, because that's not the Mithiel fishing village, because that's sort of, again, immersion breaking. I mean, yeah, you want to explain it's a fishing village, but in my opinion, you don't need to like call it, like, straight up call it Mithiel fishing village. It's just, you know, it doesn't seem right. Again, I could probably be nitpicking, but I'm going to give you an honest thing on what I think should be changed straight away. I think they could probably do a little more settlement, saying Dor Amroth. That region seems a bit bare to me. I mean, it could be. I mean, maybe I'm comparing it too much to Divide and Conquer, but I do think there could be a few stuff down here. Some settlements I notice that are a little bit close together, like these two here, a little bit too close. I feel the Troll Shores region for the High Elves is a bit bigger. Then maybe there should be a few settlements here, just not to make the region so massive. North Farbad, South Farbad, that's fine. Can't really say anything bad about that. But other than that, that's pretty much it with the mod. I think maybe it'd be nice if they added some more factions as well. I think, I'm not entirely sure what faction they could add. They could maybe add, it's difficult to say. It's difficult to say. But they definitely could stick in some factions if they wanted to. However, it's completely up to the developer. I do think that maybe it would be nice if we had some more factions to explore. Rather than just the basic factions. Obviously, another thing is that the AI is terrible at managing a faction that has a split realm. So, like the dwarfs are over here, and you got some of the dwarfs over here. Now, the AI will manage one area, so Erebor and as the Iron Hills, they manage that fine, but on the other side, they won't manage it very well. And the same can be said for the High Elves as well, and maybe Mordor. With Dol Guldur, because Mordor usually focuses down here, and Dol Guldur probably usually does nothing because AI just can't. AI is not very good at managing split realms. The same could be said for the Silver Nails here as well. So you could probably split a few factions up. I think that'd be kind of nice to see. But other than that, I think the mod is excellent. I think they put a lot of work into it, and I'm very happy with the result. Although I do think, as it's been the first version, so I imagine there will be many changes as time goes on. But for now, I think it's excellent. Anyway guys, that about wraps it up for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the mod preview. I thank you all very much for watching. Feel free to let me know any suggestions for other mods you would like me to cover in the future. Other than that, I thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and farewell.